So, this is my 2011 Gibson Les Paul Jr. Let's have a listen. This guitar, it's hung around for a while. I've probably had it for a couple of years. It's survived a few sell-offs. It's a guitar I don't pick up very often. Um, but whenever I think about selling it, I grab it again, play it, and go, no, this is different to every other guitar that I own, and it needs to be held onto. I can always justify keeping it. I can never justify getting rid of it. Even though if you look around, just randomly look at most of my other guitars, the pickup selector switch will be on the middle or the neck pickup. That's just generally what I like, and I never thought I would get enjoyment out of a guitar with one bridge pickup. Um, but people, I'm not the first to say it, but it is still really versatile. I mean, you can do crazy stuff with this guitar. One thing that's really always grabs my attention is how acoustic-like the guitar is. Now, I don't know if it's because my main acoustic is a Gibson LOO, so that's like a small body Gibson, 24 3/4 inch scale length. It's a Gibson, so it's got some similarities. But this thing just sounds, I mean, if you set it just right, probably not like that. It's probably going to be hard for me to capture, but it can sound acoustic. And it's absolutely wild, like no other guitar. Some people say it's because the pickup is mounted into the body and just properties of the P90. Whatever it is, it's really wild, and it's a hard thing to, for me anyway, to try to get my point across. I think you got to just grab one and play it. I think what's interesting as well, so these were made to be a budget version of the Les Paul. So the Les Paul was very popular. They needed to make a more affordable version. So they stripped it all back and came up with this. And it's so crazy because they came up with something unlike anything else. And they've made a whole new thing. Nowadays, when we want to save money and make a budget-friendly alternative, we just use cheaper materials and get it made somewhere where labour is cheap. But you kind of end up with the same thing. Back in these days, they had to be like, they had to think about it and really come up with ideas. And so, well, how are we going to make it different? And they stripped back a pretty high-end sort of guitar. And let's face it, a Les Paul in 54, 55 would have looked pretty futuristic and pretty top line. So to strip it back and make it like this, really, they just came up with something completely brand new. They went with like a cheap old style pickup at the time, slab of wood, there you go. And you get something unlike anything. I started paying attention to Les Paul Juniors because of Lucas Nelson. Started getting into his music, Lucas Nelson and The Promise of the Real. And I really liked it. And he caught my attention because he's probably one of the few guys that I've found that plays a Les Paul Junior relatively clean. Mostly these guitars are known for that sort of, you know, punk rock thing, which is great, and I totally get it. But I really liked what Lucas Nelson does. I mean, if I added the compressor to that, you'd kind of get where I'm going, and that leads me to my next point. These guitars have a real telly style to them. I mean, just holding it on your lap, the body shape is similar to a Telecaster, and I'm really surprised that more people don't use these as like a telly alternative in the country world. I mean, I really think that more people need to consider these when it comes to like country music and sort of, you know, a bit of chicken picking and all that. It's just something different. It's a guitar that you don't see doing that type of thing. And I really think people are missing out because it is telly-like. It's not a telly. It's something different. Obviously, you are losing a pickup. You can get a special, but I still prefer the juniors. But my next point with these guitars is you really learn to use these knobs. I don't think I ever touched a tone knob till I owned this guitar. Just kept everything dialed at 10. But this, and it's not unique to this guitar, but you just kind of have to utilize it if you want to get, and much like an acoustic, where you pick, how you pick, it really notices it. It's very dynamic. And again, not unique to this guitar, but you'll find yourself having to discover these things that you never had to worry about before. And I think every guitar player will be better for it, for spending some time with one of these. But if there are more sort of cleanish Telly Junior players, let me know. I know all the popular ones, but I just want to hear some songs with these things being a bit cleaner. Maybe I should do something. Alright, so this particular guitar I bought a couple of years ago off of, I think it was off of Reverb from a guy in Queensland. So as you can see, it is pretty relict. Front, back, whole way down. Even even the headstock. And I'm not sure if it was done deliberately. I'm going to assume it was. I'm going to assume that it was mostly done deliberately. But these things have a really thin nitro finish. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this was like just played hard and got a lot of this damage. Maybe, you know, the first bits of wear were artificial, but I mean, the rest would come easy after that. The other interesting thing with this guitar, and I could be wrong on this, I've done a little bit of research. I'm not a Gibson connoisseur by any means, but this is a 2011 model, and I believe in this era was peak rosewood banning time or whatever. So this thing has a baked maple fretboard, I believe, which is pretty uncommon in the Gibson world. But that may have part to play of why this thing sounds so good, or why I think it sounds so unique and different. And yeah, obviously we get into tone woods and battle it out, but I didn't think woods mattered at all. That's another thing. I mean, I was firmly in the camp of it's all BS, but once I got this guitar, and you can hear it, it sounds woody, like an acoustic. When you're in the room with it, it sounds, you can hear the timbre qualities to the tone. I don't know what that means. Don't ask me to delve deeper into that, but it's the best way I can figure to explain it at the moment. Yeah, this also has the black stinger on the back. I'm not sure if that's from the factory or if previous owner has just put that on because it looks cool. I believe Gibson do it in the factory if there's a flaw in the finish, and they just use it to sort of cover their tracks a little bit. But it's become, you know, its own thing and has a bit of a unique cult following. It does look cool, I'll give it that. I've sort of made this video because I love this guitar and I don't really know why. Like I say, I don't pick it up all that often, but whenever I do, I'm reminded of how unique it is. It's not like it's a great, you know, silky smooth player, and it's sort of that high end. I think it kind of, it's a bit more rough and ready, kind of like a Fender style guitar. That's how I think of Fender and Gibson anyway. The Gibsons are a little bit more fancy, you know, binding here and there, and nice finishing touches. Probably due to the shorter scale length, they're a little bit smoother to play. Where this, to me, is kind of that in between, like a Fender and a Gibson. So if you've played Fenders and you're not into the Gibson world, this might be a good little gateway. It was for me. If you really don't think you can deal with one pickup, I mean, you've always got the special, you've got the double cut junior, double cut special, so there's plenty of options. But yeah, that's my 2011 Les Paul Junior. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave some comments, please, and tune in for more. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.